Welcome back to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. For friendly expert tax advice whenever you need it, come to Donahue Accounting Services. A leading accounting firm in Cincinnati, Ohio, our top-notch accountants strive to help you resolve all your financial and tax issues. Call Donahue Accounting Services today for a free consultation at 513-3982 or visit online DonahueAccountingService.com. I'm your host, Alex Meacham, former Bearcat basketball player from 1997 to 1999 under the Hall of Fame coach, Bob Huggins.
And I'm Neil Meyer of the Front Office News.
And I'm JT Smith, editor-in-chief of the Front Office News.
All right, fellas, we are back for another episode. Let's jump right into it. The Bearcats are currently 4-0 after beating Dayton and Mount St. Mary's. This is the Bearcat game recap segment sponsored by Purple Monkey Project. JT, thoughts on the Bearcats' performances those two games?
Oh, man, weird. So, against Dayton, thought it was kind of like up and down, like for them to have so many turnovers to win by double digits. But I thought that was good. I like the pace they were playing at, but just like take care of the ball a little bit better. But you beat a team like Dayton at home, I'll take that any day of the week. But the Mount St. Mary's game was interesting. The first half, I mean, they kept. I think they only had like 4 or 5 turnovers in the first half, but they just shot some bad shots. The energy looked low. It wasn't one of the best Fifth Third Arena crowds, of course, on Sunday, but it was very, very fickle. Probably about like 8,000 in there. But in the second half, they turned it on. They looked like a different team. But that Mount St. Mary's team, it's just one of those teams you just expect to just beat the brakes off of. But they could have been looking ahead. But I didn't like the type of shots, especially for the first like 20, 25 minutes of the game. But after that, when they got together, it was cool.
JT, what type of game did you expect from the Bearcats with Mount St. Mary's? Looking at, you play a tough opponent in Dayton, and then you have Louisville after that. So sandwiched in between, you have Mount St. Mary's. What type of game were you expecting from the Bearcats for that game?
Me personally, just get them out the way early. Like, don't give them any hope. Because then what you do is you grind it out, which they had to kind of do ahead of a Louisville game. I thought you just come in there, put your foot on their neck, get them out of there. Make the other team throwing a white flag, and that's not what happened. I mean, for 20 to 5 to 30 minutes, it was a good game. You know what I mean? And the Bearcats, the cream rose to the top. Pause. They happened. But yeah, they were they had people nervous, man. I mean, at 45 was killing, man. First half, he had 13 points, and they locked him down in the second half. Only had 14, so that was great. But when he was rolling, man, they were real dangerous.
You're right. There were some Bearcat fans up where I was sitting that were thinking the Bearcats were going to lose that basketball game. But I had faith that the Bearcats would pull away, and they, like you said, had a great second half. Neil, your thoughts on the Bearcats' performances versus Dayton and Mount St. Mary's?
Yeah, when you look back to the Dayton matchup, obviously you look down, you see a 74-62 victory, but arguably this was probably a game Cincinnati could have won by double digits. Per se, obviously winning by 12, this was a game they could have won by probably 20. I mean, you look down, the biggest thing for me in the Dayton game was 24 turnovers. I think that is a season high. I did not like that for Cincinnati, especially after they came out and they went up, I think it was 15-3, 15-4 to start the game. So they had the opportunity to just really, really open this thing up at Fifth Third Arena, but Dayton rallied back, which they thought everybody kind of knew was a very solid Dayton team. But the biggest takeaway for me in that matchup was 24 turnovers. And then you fast forward to Mount St. Mary's. It was nice to see how they responded in that aspect. With Mount St. Mary's, I think they only had 13. So it was nice to see the turnover margin get cut significantly from that. But like JT mentioned, this was a game on Sunday where I get it was Sunday night football. It was a wonky tip-off time, 6 p.m. on a Sunday. But student section really didn't do their part per se. I think, like JT mentioned, there's probably only 7,500, 8,000 people in attendance. But you wish that would have been full. But, hey, they came out with the victory. It wasn't pretty, but kind of could have been a game where they might have maybe overlooked Mount St. Mary's with preparation for a top 5 team essentially in Louisville. But hey, you get the job done. You're now 4-0 heading into this matchup with Louisville. A lot at stake here ahead of this one tomorrow night. So that was my biggest takeaway from that, was now they had plenty of time to respond. And now you have a week to prepare essentially for arguably one of the best teams in the country, and a team that Wes Miller clarified and stated that he thinks is a national title contender in Louisville.
Neil, what do you attribute the turnovers against Dayton? We had 20. How many did you say it was? 24?
24.
24 turnovers. What do you attribute that to? Is it, us just adjusting to playing fast, or should Bearcat fans be concerned about the guard play?
I wouldn't necessarily say concerned about the guard play, but there was some times. I know we talked to Kirk Carissa and Day Thomas after that game as well, but they said just the sloppy turnovers. I mean, Kirk Carissa was dishing it in the first half. I think he had 7 of his 8 assists in the first half, and then he follows back up and he had 0 turnovers at the half, and then he finishes the game with 5 turnovers. I wouldn't be really be worried about the turnovers, but I would be worried, hey, it was just sloppy play in that front. I wouldn't be saying this is going to be a team that's going to turn the ball over 18 to 25 times per game, roughly. So I wouldn't be worried about the guard play yet. You have 2 veteran point guards in Day Thomas and Kirk Carissa, who have been around. They got a great feel for what it's like to play in the Big 12 and this conference. So Day Thomas also is playing his best ball of his career, in my opinion, right now. So I wouldn't really be worried about the guard play. I think they know what they have there, but they do know that this is still a new group with a little bit of chemistry that needs to be built still in terms of that aspect. So maybe that's where that turnover margin kind of comes from a little bit.
Yeah, I think if we can keep those turnovers down, this will be a successful basketball team. But if this team plays fast, like Wes says they will all year, and they're high on the turnovers, they're not going to win a lot of games in the Big 12. This is the Bearcat game recap segment sponsored by Purple Monkey Project. Fellas, I just have a couple things I want to add on to what you said in terms of those 2 games. Listen, Dayton is a very well-coached basketball team. Anthony Grant, I think, does a wonderful job. This Dayton team's going to be a good team later in the season. And we'll look back at this win as a very, very quality win. If you really think about it, JT and Neil, if Dayton shoots the basketball better that particular game, they beat UC. I mean, they win that basketball game. They did not shoot the ball very well. And I think moving forward, Dayton will improve, and they'll shoot the basketball better. And they've got a good team, and I just think they're very, very well coached. My opinion on the Mount St. Mary game was, yes, it was a very uninspired game. I think it was uninspired all around. People at the concession stands weren't working hard. I mean, it was just like players weren't into it. And listen, that happens in college basketball, especially when you play at Dayton, which, is a rivalry game, and you've got a Louisville game and, sandwiched in between. And here's the other thing, too, I want to – and JT, I'll get your thoughts on this, but I think Bearcat fans have to also remember this when playing those type of games where you have to be very careful. As the head basketball coach, you can't show all your cards going into the Louisville game, okay? I think you do have to be a little bit careful with, showing Pat Kelsey and his Louisville Cardinals certain things. I think if you look at some of the lineups that Wes threw out there, I don't think those will be some of the lineups we see versus Louisville. I think he was looking at some different things, making sure certain guys got, minutes because you might need them later on. So I think there was a couple times I'm like, man, he's got some, lineups out there that are different, which I think if everything's fair and he's playing Mount St. Mary and says, look, I'm going to play these guys and we're going to blow them out. I do think it probably is a different game. And, you got to look at Tyler McKinley, too. They didn't play him majority of the second half as precaution as well. So I think there was just a lot going on. JT, anything you want to add on to that?
Nah, you don't want to show everything, but it just was like, man, I just feel like the beginning, that first half, it just was like uninspiring, like you said. It was just the the pop wasn't in the Fifth Third Arena. So, but like you said, you don't want to give give Louisville any extra ammo or anything else extra to scout that you kind of want to hold back. After Louisville, then it is what it is. But that's one of the teams that is going to be a headache, no matter how good you're. I mean, if you're playing bad against Louisville, it can get interesting. But I'll leave my comment to that until later. But yeah, that's how I'll end it with that. Because but that Mount St. Mary's game was just like, ooh, a little interesting, to say the least, for sure. But it is sandwiched in between Dayton and Louisville, so I can understand why it could be a lull. There are, and I mean, with transfers and people getting 20 years nowadays, you never know how old a kid is right now. But 18 to 24, that's kind of the range, so.
No doubt. This is the Bearcat game recap segment sponsored by Purple Monkey Project. Now, the Purple Monkey Project was formed following the tragic loss of 10-year-old Reagan Vanasse in May of 2021. Reagan was a ray of sunshine who lit up every room. The Purple Monkey Project is named after Reagan's favorite stuffed animal and seeks to keep Reagan's spirit alive by being a ray of light in the community and promoting random acts of kindness by providing scholarships and other financial support of youth and youth-centered charities in Southwest Ohio. The Purple Monkey Project seeks to pay it forward, all in the name of Reagan. To learn more about the Purple Monkey Project, please visit purplemonkeyproject.org or visit them on Facebook at Purple Monkey Project. And by the way, shout out to Brad Vanasse and the entire Vanasse family with the Purple Monkey Project. They do their annual fundraiser. Myself and a gentleman named Kenny Glenn, we hosted their event. It's called the Mic Drop, and raised a lot of really good money for the Purple Monkey Project. They then take that money and they distribute it in the community and give young people scholarships to use towards college, trade, or whatever it is. So what a wonderful organization they have with Purple Monkey Project. So shout out Brad and the entire Vanasse family. Friday at 6:30 p.m., the Bearcats take on the Louisville Cardinals and I don't even want to say, I normally say the beautiful Fifth Third Arena or wherever we're playing. I'm not even going to say beautiful. I'm just going to say Heritage Bank Arena.
Beautiful.
Man, ain't beautiful.
No.
In the Hoops Classic. You're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast, sponsored by Donahue Accounting Services. Now, let's jump into the Big O segment, sponsored by Oakley Greens. Now, in this segment, we cover players to watch in key matchups. Now, we're going to go over Louisville primarily, this podcast. Keep in mind the Bearcats will then play NJIT, Eastern Michigan, and Tarleton State over the next couple of weeks. But our focus for this podcast is strictly going to be on Louisville. So, for this game, JT, who are you expecting a big game from the Bearcats versus Louisville?
All right, I'm going for the freshman, man. Shauna Bayev, shot maker, shot taker. Feels like no situation is too big for him, and I feel like if he gets adjusted to the arena, because it's a different backdrop at Heritage Bank Arena, if he gets adjusted fast, he's a guy that I think is gonna take that challenge on playing against those Louisville guys, because they got some guys on that team. I think Shauna Bayev is gonna try to prove that he is on those guys' level. So I think that'd be good for the Bearcats. And then if he can get that rhythm early, watch out.
Now, JT, correct me if you think I'm wrong or you think otherwise, but I think this is the perfect opportunity for Sean to go off, because I don't think we've seen him go off yet. Like, nope. truly, right, have a game where it's like, this is his breakout game. Do you agree with that?
No, for sure. It's perfect setting because Louisville is they can score, and I think that's going to play right. And if Sean's going to show something, definitely going to be on Friday. That's for sure, because it's not going to be the other team's not going to try to slow it down. They're going to play just as fast as UC. So I think if Sean doesn't get hit with ticky-tack fouls, this is a 20, maybe high 20 game for him. I can see it. Maybe low 30, something like that. I think he's going to try to match because they got some killer guards. I think he's going to try to do his thing.
Also, what's going to be interesting is, you talked about the backdrop at the Heritage Bank Arena, but also the rims are tight. The floor is very slippery because the ice rink underneath I've heard a lot of people that play there complain about the floor as well. So there's going to be a lot of it's almost like a football game where you have weather, condition factors that impact the game. Where usually in the game of basketball you don't have to worry about that, but in this case they might. So hopefully Sean, he's a big game player. Hopefully shows up, big game, and it'd be the Sean game. That would be great to see. Now Neil, from your standpoint, who are you expecting a big game from?
Yeah, for me, I'm going to expect a big game from Kirk Carissa. Obviously, the last 2 games haven't been ideal for him, but this is a game where he knows what's at stake. He's played in a lot of high basketball games throughout his college career, obviously entering year 6. He's played in some of these big-time games before, so he's not afraid of this moment per se. Like JT mentioned, it's going to be fun to watch Sean Abayev as well with the Michael Brown aspect. That matchup's going to be fun, but for me, my key player for Cincinnati is Kirk Carissa, and the reason I say that is just because they're going to need him to step up. Louisville's guard play is fantastic. I mean, they have 4 different guards, maybe even 5, who can come get a bucket when need be for them, so Cincinnati's going to have to find a way to respond. If this is a game where Kirk Carissa shoots 1 from 9 from behind the arc like he did the other night, it's going to be a long night. But if this is a game where Kirk Carissa goes 4 of 6, 4 of 7, from 3, and he adds 15 to 20 points, this could be a game where Cincinnati could really have an upset and have a big opportunity loom ahead of them. So for me, it's Kirk Carissa in this matchup.
And Neil, I'll tell you why I like that pick, because you've got Kirk Carissa, who's a veteran. He's been in big games. He knows what these type of games are about. He could be that calming force. We've got a lot of young players, some new players, and some of the new players have played in big games, but Kerr's been around 6 years in college basketball. 6 years, looking for a 7th. I wonder, does Kerr, because he's been in school so long? Now this is actually a serious question. I'm gonna add a joke, but I got a serious question. Does he even take classes?
It's a valid question.
And if he, if he has a 7th year. I mean, is he a professor at that? Is he teaching a class at this point?
He's teaching a class on how to fleece the NCAA and get them extra years, if anything.
Jeez, man, 7 years teaching. 7 years is crazy, but
he's doing something that you can't teach. If he's able to get a 7th year, which it sounds like he's fighting for, shit. If he's able to get 7, we got to know what he's cooking up and how he's making this work. Because I mean. 7 years college basketball in this new landscape. Shit, I'd take that money any day if you're getting paid.
Hey, you know what? That's another good point.
Might make his nickname Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, for sure. But that's a good point. If you stay in college,
he said he's all for it too,
and you're making money, you could be making more money in college than you could. Let's just be honest. Kerr's not going to be an NBA guy. He's going to be an overseas guy. He could be making more money in college than the first couple years playing overseas. So, for a guy like him, I would be like, hey, give me a 7th year, get this bag, So,
for sure.
But I'm not mad at him either. So I do agree, Neil, that I think it would be great to see him kind of be that calming force, having played in a lot of big games between Arizona and Kentucky and all that. So he does bring that onto the table for the Bearcats. The Big O segment is sponsored by Oakley Greens. My player to watch for this game is going to be Buck Harris. I feel like I'm going to be saying Buck Harris a lot this year. He's my favorite Bearcat this year to watch and play. He's just for me. He's like a throwback. He reminds me of some old teammates that I had in terms of, he has that excitement off the bench. Kind of like a Mel Levitt in terms of, Mel Levitt falls to the ground. He's jumping up, he's clapping, he's getting the fans into it. I think it was this last game, the Mount St. Mary game. Buck was shaking one of the courtside fans' hands after one of the and ones, and that type of charisma and that energy, I just love. So I think he's a guy for this particular game that could really help us down the stretch. So maybe he's not going to do what Kerr and Sean do for a majority of the game from a scoring standpoint, But if the Bearcats get into a fist fight with this game, meaning they're going shot for shot in this offense, they're coming down in, somebody's got to get some stops. And the guy that I'm going to look for wearing a Bearcat uniform to do that will be Buck Harris. And to me, that will be the guy to kind of get them over the hump to win this basketball game. Any thoughts, fellas?
I like that pick, though, Meach, because the reason I say that is Louisville has a guy in Ryan Conwell who has had tremendous success for Cincinnati throughout the recent years. And I like that matchup. I like that challenge at hand because Sincere, he's gonna give you that grit you need on the defensive edge, and you're gonna need that versus a guy like Ryan Conwell, who's averaging nearly 20 points a game, and a guy who came in and had 20 versus Cincinnati last year. So that's a matchup I'm actually looking forward to. So I'm glad you brought that up because Sincere is going to have an impact on this game on the defensive end. Between him, Kirk Harisa, Dede Thomas, I think this is a game where Cincinnati's defensive edge could kind of give them a little bit of a benefit here. And most teams, most analysts and whatnot are kind of overlooking that. But us here on this podcast, we see that defensive edge being around these guys. And these guys are going to come ready to play. And if there's anyone who's going to probably spark that fire a little bit more than usual, it's probably going to be Buck. So I'm glad you brought up Sincere.
Yep. JT, any thoughts before we move forward?
Oh, man. Yeah, y'all hit all the talking points, man. So, yeah, Buck is one of those guys, man. So, he's one of those guys that you in the back alley, you got to play some basketball or get home. You seem like a guy that's going to help you get home.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's fun for me, being a defensive guy playing for Huggins, to have a Bearcat and a Bearcat team where no matter who we play, from a perimeter standpoint, we know we've got a guy defensively that can guard that other team's either best player or most impactful player. And that's something I don't think we've had to that level in a while. So I'm excited every game for that challenge, especially with Buck. That's why I said I think I'm going to say Buck's name quite a bit because that old Bob Huggins defensive mentality still runs through my veins. So excited to see what Buck can do this game, especially watch out for Buck down the stretch if it's a close game and what he can do. He's got to stay out of foul trouble. No dumb foul.
Got to.
He gets excited, and that's the only piece to him is when he gets too excited. You know, he does that. He's almost like a shooter. So, but defensively. So sometimes you get a shooter that shoots so well, and they knock a couple shots down. They're going to do a heat check and shoot up some crazy shot, right? Something from Super Deep. Yeah. I think defensively, he's so strong defensively. He heats somebody up, get a stop, get a steal. Yeah. Now he does something, takes a bad shot, but defensively he gambles. You know what I'm saying? So he's just got to continue to mature with that, knowing that when the Big 12 play starts, we need him desperately to be that guy if we're going to win, because the Big 12 is going to be a gauntlet, as it always is, especially this year. The Big O segment is sponsored by Oakley Greens. Oakley Greens, the ultimate spot to catch your hometown team in every big game. With 6 giant LED screens and TVs at every angle, it's more than a sports bar. It's your entertainment headquarters. All the sports, all the time, all at Oakley Greens. Located in Oakley Station next to the cinema. You can check them out at oakleygreens.com. You're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It's time for everybody's favorite game.
No dancing tonight. It's a little late. No dancing tonight.
I thought that's when you dance your best, when it's like
yeah, usually, but we still early in the season. We can't crank out the good dance moves yet, Meach.
Okay, because I think JT defunded you last time.
Yeah, he did defund me.
Hey Neil, I have to bring this up in our group text thread. We took a picture this past Saturday on the sideline at the Louisville Bearcat game, and JT had on the all black Jordan 3s. I had on the Taxi 12s, and you had some shoes. I think they were Adidas.
Some Adidas. So they were.
It looked like you'd been kicking field goals in Afghanistan with them bad boys on.
Hey,
You played for Bin Laden All-Star, bro. Those things were dusty, dog.
Because he said he had some Greg Littles. He had some Greg Little specials on, huh? 68 yarders in there, huh?
Woo-wee. Man, JT said we gotta.
Damn, Neil.
We gotta take our
I know,
podcast.
gotta step up the shoe game.
JT, if you
Should have wore the Pandas, man.
No.
Yeah, just messing with you there, but should have worn the Pandas.
No, you were. Can we, JT, let's pick out the shoes he needs to get, because I don't want him to get, some whack joints, like some Jordan mids or something. We can't have.
He definitely get some mids. He'll get some mids. He'll be like, they're on sale for $75.
He's like, hey guys, what do you think about these?
Like, oh man,
like, dang, Neil,
Adidas.
You got the wrong one, bro.
God damn, Neil.
Bro.
But he definitely gets some mids. He'll get some mids for sure. You gotta definitely look. These are the ones you gotta buy. You got to put $250 aside, man. Maybe we can get you a deal, but you got to use that money, man. You gotta get a pair of J's, and don't run them to the ground yet either.
Don't run them to the ground.
Don't tie them super tight.
Oh, I can see Neil tying them bad boys up like he's about to hoop.
Like a serial killer. I call it serial killer. If you like,
you know about that ankle support though.
Yeah, I'm saying, but you don't need ankle support like that when you walking normally, man. That's when you hooping or about to run or something. You gotta, when you just walk in doing your thing, you need, you know what I mean?
You need comfort.
You can't be running, can't walk around like serial killer, man. Don't do that to the shoe. Looking like you got 10 bodies in the basement.
Yeah. Hey, we got you, Neil. Okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
We will support you. We won't defund Neil yet.
Not yet, man. You got to use some of that money to get some J's, though, man. But we will find the right ones for you.
We got this sponsorship money from the pod, bro. You got
this.
Okay. All right. Let's jump into the name game. Let's look at Louisville. Let's go to Louisville's roster. Are you ready, Neil?
Yep.
Okay, Louisville Cardinals. Let's go to number 13.
Number 13 for Louisville is Sananda Fru.
Sananda Fru. All right, number 15.
Number 15 for Louisville is Ali Khalifa. He spent some time at BYU. Wes Miller and them are very familiar with his game.
Oh, that's the big dude. Big dude. Slow dude be throwing dimes.
Big Khalifa.
Got a little 3-ball. Big Khalifa.
Yeah, he can shoot the 3-ball too.
Cousin.
You say what?
Wiz cousin.
Wiz Khalifa. He's from Egypt. He's from Alexandria, Egypt. Yep. I don't think I've ever met anybody in my life from Egypt. Have you?
That's tight. Nah, I can't say. I have to do some research, maybe. I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think I ever have.
If I have, I'm very ignorant on my knowledge on that one.
Yeah. Number 53, Neil.
Number 53 is Vangelis Zagris.
Say that last name.
Zugris.
Now,
number 53, he rocking the Alex Meacham number.
Hey, easy.
Not actually, but
easy.
Hey.
What are you thinking? Shot? I was 41. What?
Yeah. The unique numbers. No one wears 53. No one wears 41.
Man, I mean, Dirk did work. Dirk did work. 41.
Dirk saved you, though. Dirk served. They saved you.
Yep.
But 53.
I'm going to throw out a name.
No one wearing 53.
Neil, you don't know nothing about this. I'm going to throw out a name. Sam Perkins. You know who Sam Perkins is?
He did wear 40.
I'd have to look it up. I'd have to look more into it.
Sam Perkins, Sleepy Sam.
But yeah, Sam Perkins. He was a baller.
He was. And then one of the reasons I wore it, Glenn Rice.
Oh, Glenn Rice did.
Yep. Glenn Rice. That was my favorite. That was still my favorite shooter growing up. That's why I wore 41.
Yeah, he doesn't get the respect he deserves, for real.
Glenn Rice did not. I agree with that.
Charlotte, Glenn Rice was crazy.
For sure. I agree with that.
Yep.
All right, Neil, jumping back to Louisville, looking down, I want you to go to the coaching staff. Obviously, shout out my guy, Pat Kelsey, an elder legend. I gotta give out a shout out my guy Pat, man. We go back high school. Sister and I went to high school together, really good friends with his sister Katie. The whole family is like the greatest family ever, man. So shout out the Kelsey family. So keep scrolling down. And right after Mike Cassidy, that is your name. The last name. You ready?
Main Ukegbu.
Ukegbu. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, Neil. Keep scrolling down. And by the way, shout out on Louisville support staff. I got to give a shout out to my guy, Mitch Johnson, who is the special assistant to Pat Kelsey. Mitchell played in my AU basketball program with Shining Star back in the day. Went to Turpin High School. Great kid, great family. Braden Connor, who's the director of basketball operations for Louisville. He played my AU program too. Really, really good kid. Went to Elder. Shout out to my guy Braden. His dad is actually the athletic director at Thomas More. So shout out some Cincinnati ties there. So keep scrolling down on the supporting staff and read the name after Tiffany White.
Frank and Salam Eve.
And Salem
Eve in Salem.
Yeah, that's a tough one. And then in this one, I just like the last name. Two down, Charlie.
Charlie Champagne.
Champagne, baby.
Yeah, that's tight.
Isn't that a tight name, Mr. Champagne? That just sounds like a rap name. Mr. Champagne. Make it rain. All right, Neil, let's jump into NJIT, who'll be one of the Bearcats opponents here coming up shortly. So let me know when you get to the NJIT roster. And please see number 8. No, I'm sorry. Take that back. Let's start with number 7. The last name is crazy.
Cameron Piggy.
Mr. Piggy.
That's wild.
Could you imagine Mr. and Mrs. Piggy? Oh, my immaturity.
That's wild.
Isn't that wild?
That's wild.
Number 8, the last name.
Number 8 is Jeffrey and Akintilu. Akintilu.
Okay. Not bad. Number 11, last name. Let's see what you got here.
Melvin Ibancoli.
He's French. And last but not least on NJIT is number 13.
Stefan Jimenez Voynick.
Yeah, you paused there. You were like, ooh, make sure I get this last name right. All right, let's jump into Eastern Michigan. Got some good names tonight. Let me know when you're there.
Awesome, we're there.
All right, let's jump to number 4.
Muhammad Habhab.
Yeah, there we go, JT. What you know about Habhab?
Habhab with the double last name. Habhab. I can't just be Muhammad Habhab.
Muhammad Habhab.
Hey, how they double up? Man, that's wild. But that might be in the runner for number 1 right now. Habhab.
Nah, Gob still got number 1.
No, I'm talking about this year.
This
year for sure.
Yeah,
what's better than 1 hop? 2 hops. Hop.
2
All right.
hops.
2 hops. Number.
2 hops Crisscross.
Number, here we go. Here we go, JT. Neil, number 13.
Number 13. God's love and would booty.
We got our number 1 right now, JT. We have our number 1, ladies and gentlemen.
You can't pronounce that last name. I'm sorry. There's an N with a W. It's hard.
In the lead for the name game so far this year.
100%.
Say it one more time, Neil.
God's love and wood booty.
Ew.
Man,
I
need to talk to him. I'm gonna find him after the game. I'm like, hey, bro, let me talk to you real quick. Let me get a little bit more information on this name here. God's love. That's tough. That's tough. All right, let's jump into our last school here. And Neil, are you ready for Tarleton State? That has to be, that's Texas, right?
Yep.
Tarleton. That just sounds like I'm from Tarleton, Texas. All right, Tarleton, Texas. All right, let's go number 24.
Number 24 is Ossifer Owens.
Ooh, you did good with that. I thought it was O'Cipher, but I thought it was a cipher. Ooh, number 23. Let's jump up. How do you say that last name there?
Chris Mpaka.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah, that was good.
That was pretty good. Last but not least, number 25.
Number 25 is Matyas Vrabel. Hey, Meach, we're calling out numbers here in the name game. Number 97.
Ooh,
97.
Good catch. How you say his last name?
Andy Sigazar.
Sigazar.
Number 97 is what caught my attention there.
Yeah.
97 is wild. He flagrant.
Very flagrant.
He flagrant.
Hey, and notice they're coached by former UK coach Billy Gillespie.
Billy G still around? That's crazy.
Obviously, he's in Tarleton, Texas.
Yeah,
good for Billy G. Good for Billy G.
Last chance you. Yeah.
Well, listen, JT, we have a leader right now in the name game. We have a leader.
God, yeah.
God's love.
Sure.
He's
God's love.
Definitely in the lead. You had to earn your money today, Neil.
I know, right?
Yep. We'll pay you a little extra for this one, okay?
Got you.
All right, let's jump into the Kenyon segment. This is where we cover the keys to the game. So, JT, what do the Bearcats need to do to beat Louisville? Everywhere I go, everyone's been asking me, what do the Bearcats need to do? I said, I need to talk to JT. I need to get the full scoop. JT, what do we need to do?
Hey, man, it's going to sound super generic, but they got to get some good shots, man. And this can go, I'll give a quick synopsis. Good shot isn't shooting threes because you just for the sake of shooting threes. Shoot a good three. Make sure somebody's getting to the paint, touching the paint first, getting it out. Shoot the three. You know what I mean? But if you miss 5 threes in a row, if you could take a couple dribbles and shoot a mid-range, do that as well. But just shoot quality shots, man. I feel like against, Mount St. Mary's, they shot a lot of bad shots, especially in the first half. I think in the second half they shot a lot better shots. I think their 2-pointer to 3-pointer ratio was a lot less in the second half. And I thought it showed I think they're going to be a solid 3-point shooting team, but sometimes I thought they shot unattractive threes. Is that a good breakdown? Unattractive threes. Some teams might shoot. Yeah, not sexy at all. Just real rough. No presentation. Don't get the people excited threes. You know what I mean? Just just F it. I'm gonna shoot the three. I ain't gonna run offense. I'm just shooting the three. Damn it. You know what I mean?
Who would you say is the biggest culprit? Who would you say was the biggest culprit of that?
All right, I thought I thought Sean shot a few unattractive threes. Kerr shot a few unattractive threes to me. I think Kerr might have shot the most unattractive threes, but I think his passing kind of glossed over it. But I think Kerr shot the most. I was like, damn. But both of them were like over or something for a second. So I thought they probably shot the most. I know Sean shot a few like, hey, I'm trying to get on this board type threes. I thought Kerr was trying to get the crowd into it, and he shot a couple like, all right, let me just let this fly type threes too. So, I think, and then I feel like Jalen had a couple, but overall, man, they got to just shoot good shots because this team is too good to be shooting bad shots. Because if they do that, how they play, how they shot against Mount St. Mary, especially that first half, man, this can get real masterpiece sneaker ugly. Now I'm bringing that back out. This team is not to be played with. You know what I mean?
Meyer sneakers, Adidas.
Dang. The Adidas ain't as bad as Master P's now.
I mean, that's true. Yours just was the wear of the sneaker.
The wear and tear. They've been through a lot. But
I can tell.
Master P is crazy. Master P is crazy.
Start calling the NM ugly, NM sneaker ugly.
I need to find that picture and just do a close up of its shoes. Let me look at this picture. Keep going. I'm sorry. Keep going.
It's cold-blooded.
They took shots at 41, so I owe you, dog.
Yeah, now
hey,
they jabbing.
Hey, they were the shoes were a little dirty. I'm looking at them now. They were a little dirty. But
the right one. I mean, you have green on your shoe. Like, were you seriously kicking field goals before the game with man?
Shit, maybe I'm trying to get on scholarship, Meach. I still got 4 years of eligibility left, if anybody was wondering.
Not with those joints. Man. Yeah, I'm a screenshot that. No. Yeah.
That's the right one. That right one.
In case anybody was wondering who can see this, I don't know if you can see the caption, but it's JT's. There it is. It says, we ain't defund Neil yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Hey.
Not yet. It's still on the table.
Hey. Look, JT, look up.
You guys are so cold for.
It's the right one. That's the one.
It's that right one. That right one is. That right one got a story to tell.
You know what? I'm gonna go stop by those guys in Kenwood Mall and have them clean my shoes for free. How you feel about that?
No.
You gotta pay. You better pay them.
Don't clean them. Throw them away. Burn them. Lighter fluid. Burn them. Burn them.
You said burn them.
Them things are. You are about 2 steps away from them being Crocs. Them things are falling apart.
Meach, would you rock a pair of Crocs? Let me ask you, would you ever rock a pair of Crocs?
Nope.
Okay, glad we're on the same page because I think JT and I talked about this. Listen, at least I ain't own a pair of Crocs.
No, this is not me. I mean, I respect the kids. That's the kids thing. That's this generation's deal and stuff. So I respect it. Just not me.
I would never own a pair of Crocs.
Well, these Adidas you have are, a couple more steps, bro. You're in sport mode. You are in sport mode.
Hey, that was a Croc adjacent.
Yeah, those things. Yeah, man, those things are on unemployment, man.
Hey,
man. Yeah. Hey. They are.
Shit.
I'm sending these to the chat. I'm gonna make that my profile pic. All right, Neil. I'm sorry, man. We I'm sorry. I didn't even ask you. Hey, your keys to the game, Neil.
Hopefully, wear some better shoes tomorrow than what I had on the other day.
For sure.
But realistically speaking, my keys to the game is Cincinnati got to push the tempo tomorrow night.
Okay.
Louisville's going to come out and push the tempo. They're averaging nearly 100 points per game. They got some dudes. But for Cincinnati to be able to withstand the talent level on the opposite side of the court with Louisville, they're going to have to come out and teams are going to have to run. They're going to have to come out and run. They're going to have to get in transition early. They're going to have to get some early buckets. But keys to the game, you're going to have to match Louisville's physicality and their tempo. If you don't match their tempo, and I said this earlier on the Bearcat Blitz show with Russ, if you don't match Louisville's tempo tomorrow night, expect to get beat by double digits. I think that's a fair statement.
Yeah, so, I mean, both you guys, with what you're saying, I think offensively we have to keep up. Louisville, no doubt, can score the basketball. They're going to score. We need to keep up. Like JT said, take good shots. The guys that should be taking the shots need to take the shots. You don't need just random people. By the way, and nothing against Mustafa. I know he can, as the ball's getting reversed, shoot that three, but I don't think we need him shooting any threes this game. That's not the magical answer, I think, for this one. And I don't mind him doing that maybe in some games, but not necessarily this game. I went and watched Louisville, fellas, earlier this year when they played South Carolina State. Shout out Eric Martin, former Bearcat legend, great, who's a South Carolina State head coach. And Louisville just dismantled them. I mean, it was really bad. I think South Carolina State scored 15 points in the first half. That's it.
Wasn't it like 55-15 at halftime?
Something like that. It was Neil Meyer's shoe ugly. It was bad that first half. The in Louisville, JT, stop laughing. Louisville can score the basketball, but I think we can match that. I think we can bring the energy to match that. If we don't, it's not going to end well for the Bearcats this game. By the way, shout out Louisville player Kobe Rogers. Listen, Louisville has a lot. Louisville's one of those teams that when you do a scouting report on a team, they have a lot of guys that are on the scouting report that are tough matchups. Kobe Rogers went to St. X. Shout out Kobe, played in my AU program, and the kid's just worked hard. He's grinded his way up to the major Division I level, and kid can flat out play, man. I wish he was a Bearcat. I always tell him that, man. I wish he was a Bearcat, but Pat Kelsey's been his guy for a long time, so he's kind of followed Pat. But shout out Kobe. But I think to your guys' point, I think we need to match them offensively, take good shots, and I think we'll be in the game towards the end. And we need my guy Buck to get some stops, and the Bearcats to get some rebounds. I think we got a good chance of winning the basketball game. If not, it's not. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people there. Am I right about that?
They just actually dropped a ticket link, a discount code where you can get 50% off tickets. I don't know if you guys saw that. But that was after, I'm sure everybody watched, Wes Miller kind of adamantly called out the organizers and whatnot for the absurd ticket prices for this matchup. So,
what was up with that?
I mean, the cheapest ticket for this game each was, I think, $60 when I looked the other night. So that's the cheapest ticket. And Heritage Bank Center is a dump. I'm sorry, I'm not paying $60 for an RC Cola and some stale popcorn.
Wow, they still have RC Cola then?
Still,
yes.
That's probably still around from the 60s. That's probably left over.
JT and I are going to be drinking an RC Cola tomorrow and eating some stale popcorn while the game goes on. So
be careful, man.
No, I'll be just drinking water, but I will have an opportunity to drink RC Cola if I will. Like, I'll let Neil drink the RC Cola. I'm not.
Yeah, let Neil drink it and then see how.
Hey, we might not be behind the band tomorrow either, because Meach, I don't know if you remember 2 years ago at that game, me and JT, we had it rough down there at Heritage Bank Center, man. That game where Deron Holmes and Dayton blew Cincinnati out the waters. Me and JT got stuck right 6 inches in front of the Dayton drummer in the band. So hopefully we got a little bit better of a pause. Yes, but hopefully we got a little bit better of a If you
Wow.
Pause that.
Yeah, we got to pause that. We're going to review the tape on that. We're going to throw a flag, Neil. You were.
Yeah, we were in front of the band, and it was terrible though. That was terrible.
Meach, we physically had to wear our AirPods to get through the game.
Really?
Because that drum was just boom, 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 right in your ear the whole time.
Yeah.
Can you do that one more time?
The
No. I actually make the noise as you do it. All right, great, Neil. You're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. Neil, you're on fire this podcast. The Twyman section. This is the Neil Meyer podcast today. This is all.
He took over. He took over, bro. He took over.
He took over, man. As soon as we talked about the shoes, it was a wrap. Now, this is the Twyman segment. This is where we cover hot topics. So I have 2 topics, but one we may want to concentrate on a little bit more. We're in Cincinnati, Ohio. We have to talk about the Bengals a little bit. The rumors are this Sunday, the Bengals take on the Patriots. There's rumors going around, Neil, JT, that we could see number 9, our Jesus, Joe Burrow. My question, do you guys think Joe Burrow should play Sunday? And or do you think Joe Burrow should even play another game this season? JT, start with you.
So, if Joe Burrow don't play defense, sit your ass down.
Yeah.
Because it don't matter. It don't matter if you score 40 points and you still losing because your defense is terrible.
Yeah.
Joe, save yourself, count your money, get 100% healed. This defense ain't gonna help you, bro. Like you throw for 500 yards, 5 touchdowns. It don't matter. You throw for 250, 3 touchdowns, and run for a touchdown. It don't matter, man. This defense is atrocious. Sorry, man. You don't need to see him the rest of the year. But if you want to play, I feel you. You're an athlete. That's how it goes. But the organization needs to save him from himself. But Zach Taylor is fighting for his job, so he won't.
Good points. Good points. Second part to this question. So there are 2 big games at Paycor. Bengals on Sunday. On Saturday, a little controversial, but St. X, Elder, high school playoffs here in Cincinnati. The game was scheduled to be played at Mason High School. 7,000 tickets were sold within, the first 30 minutes. The game was then moved to Paycor.
Yeah.
And they're saying that up to 27,000 could possibly show up for that game. Definitely more people will be at the St. X Elder game than at the UC Louisville game. I think we could safely say that would be the case, right?
Yes.
So
we had a running joke the other day in the press conference after talking to Wes about how long, jokingly aside, of course, how quick Pat Kelsey will try to get ejected to go watch Elder St. X.
No, Pat, you're probably right. Now, so my question is, thoughts on the St. X Elder game? Obviously, this is being billed as one of the biggest games in quite a while, playoff wise in our area. JT, your predictions? Who are you going with, St. X or Elder?
All right, Elder won in the regular season. I'm gonna say St. X gets revenge on Friday.
St. X is on the French
Moeller
court.
beat St. X.
Yep.
Yeah, because Moeller beat him in the regular season. They popped them last week.
Yep.
Elder should have lost. Honestly, should have lost to Princeton. Respect to them coming back. Princeton had them dead to rights. I think X gets it done. They've already seen them before. I feel like Elder did beat them pretty handily the first game, but I think they adjust and they win. It's not going to be a blowout by any means. It'll be a very good game, but I think they squeak by.
Yeah. We were on the sideline for the UC Arizona game, and Antoine Peak Sr. came over, and he's coaching the
Princeton team.
I was looking for the position. D-line coach for Princeton. And he was
D-line.
fresh off that. Huh?
D-line, yeah.
Yep. So he was fresh off that game. So he was letting us know about that game. He was pretty he was pretty fired up about that loss. That's a good point. St. X kind of is on a revenge tour right now. By the way, shout out my guy Braden Riley that plays for X. Grew up, know his dad Nick real well. Braden is one of the stars of St. X's football team. All around, tremendous, great kid. I had mentioned to Braden some time ago, hey, I'd love for you to be a Bearcat one day. And he said, man, if they offered me, I would love to go to UC and be able to play in front of, the family. And he ended up committing to Northwestern originally. And man, he blew up, absolutely blew up this year. And he decommitted from Northwestern. He just committed to Clemson. And so he's now committed to Clemson. Bro, I wish he was a Bearcat. I text him and I'm like, bro, Bearcats. He's like, I got to go to Clemson, dog. So shout out Braden, man. He's going to be a hell of a college football player. Neil, two-parter. Joe Burrow, should he play Sunday? Should he play the rest of the season? Do you care? St. X versus Elder.
So there's two sides of it. Obviously, as the fan, you would want to see Joe Burrow play. Obviously, he brings the excitement, especially versus this matchup. Everything is still kind of sitting at stake for the Bengals. Like, yes, there's still an opportunity for them to win the division. However, it might bring excitement for fans to see Joe Burrow take the field. But without Jamar Chase, it's going to be interesting this Sunday. But me personally, I'm there with JT because he's getting paid regardless. If I'm coming off a season injury and my defense is playing the way they are right now, like hot garbage, I'm sitting out because I'm getting paid regardless. So that's where my statement is, because no matter how many points this offense puts up, like JT mentioned, they could go out for 100. Shit, you could throw me in this slot and I could go out for 100 on this defense because the Bengals defense is that bad.
Easy, Neil. Easy.
I'm realistically
not no shoes
over the top expectations. Like you get what I'm saying. This defense is bad. The Bengals defense is bad.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, go ahead.
But you could throw anybody out there and they could run right through this defense. I mean, they can't tackle anybody. So for me, if I'm Joe Burrow, I'm sitting out. That's where I'm at. You're going to get paid regardless. You're getting your money. What was it? $240 million, whatever it was. They're getting paid. No need to rush because Zach Taylor's on the hot seat. So me personally, I'd be sitting this one out.
Lot of money. And that turf toe is no joke, man.
I will give him props to the recovery time because from what the initial reports were saying was like mid-December. So I don't know what it is about Joe Burrow beating recovery times by long shots, but whatever they're doing in the medical field nowadays, they're doing something right to get these guys back on the field quickly. I got no comment on it, but it's interesting.
Yeah. St. X Elder.
Yeah, JT mentioned it. Obviously, everybody knows I'm an Oak Hills guy, so I don't really like that team in purple. So I want to see St. X win this game. However, Elder is very talented. Their team is very talented. What they did, that comeback the other night was pretty impressive. However, I don't know. I want St. X to win. As much as I dislike that team in purple, I do think Elder gets the job done. I do. It's going to be a low-scoring affair, but I do think Elder gets this job done. They're 10-0 right now, coming off of arguably their biggest win of the season following that 23-point comeback. So they got all the momentum rolling. They're now going to have the big environment at Paycor for both teams, but I do think Elder gets this done, and I would not be surprised if a guy like Joe Royer is on Elder's sideline on Friday night, knowing Cincinnati has a night game on Saturday. Would Joe Royer be there in attendance? It could make sense. Could Luke Kandra be on the sideline for Elder? Who knows? There's a lot of ties there, but for me, I think Elder gets this job done on Saturday.
Okay, all right. So we'll see. It's gonna be a fun environment there. So here are my thoughts real quick. In terms of Joe Burrow, You're right, Neil. The way he's recovered so quickly is very impressive. Like coming off that turf toe is no joke. Here's my thoughts. What are we? 3-7. Bengals are 3-7. I don't know, third place maybe in the North. We play the 9-2 Pats. Lose that game, you're 3-8. Like I would just that would put us what 3-8.
Shelf it, baby.
Shelf it. Just get better and get ready for next season. In the off season, improve the defense. Right, need to get some new guys on defense, improve that, and come back fresh. But part of me. So as we say that, as I say that, knowing I don't personally know Joe Burrow, but knowing what we know about him, he's going to want to play. He's going to want to play Sunday. And I think part of that too is he's been injured as a Bengal. How many times has he been injured? What are we going on?
He had the ACL, he had the wrist, he had the appendicitis, he had injury.
So he's been injured quite a bit. I think him personally, I think he's taking that as like I got to get back on the field. I've been injury prone. I've been hurt quite a bit. I need to get on this field and produce. I think that's probably what he's thinking. But as an advisory group, if I was part of that, I would say, man, we got to shut this bad boy down, bro. No reason to get out there right now. Let's get better and come back out and win MVP. Just go for MVP next year. That'd be my opinion. In terms of the St. X Elder game, first of all, I just want to say, man, this city really shows up for high school sports, man, and that's pretty cool because there are some cities where high school sports is just really irrelevant. I have friends in other cities, and they said that they watch the news and there's like no mention of high school sports in their community. They show the professional sports, and then the bottom ticker is high school stuff. Here, they do high school. The different news stations will go and do like a tailgating before the game thing at some of the high school football games. I just love how people rally around it. So many great rivalries here in Cincinnati too. You got Lakota East versus West, which I think is one of my favorite to go to, both basketball and football, because those schools are so big. It's just a massive amount of people, and it's a good rivalry. St. X Elder, St. X Moeller, and you can go on and on with different rivalries. So I think it's really cool in this area. I know a lot of kids on the St. X side that play football. I know a lot of kids on the Elder side that play football as well. Most of the kids that I know both play football and basketball. That's how I know them. So I'm not going to go out and pick anybody, because if I do, I don't want one side knocking on my door and saying, "Why you pick us, man?" So I'm gonna stay out of that. All I'm gonna say is I hope everybody stays healthy. Shout out Alex Dugan, who plays for Elder. He got hurt in the Princeton game, labrum, so he's out, I think, for the game. So just hopefully everybody stays healthy. Caden, number 10, the quarterback for Elder, man, he's had a tremendous season, man. Shout out Caden, and should be a fun game, man. It's gonna be exciting to see. We'll be you guys will be in the Heritage Bank.
Yes, sir.
So we'll be in there, watching that game. So shout out my guy Jamal Lucas from the Brand Jordan. He will be in the house for the Louisville game. Talked to him yesterday. He's flying in tomorrow, so he'll be at the game. So hopefully the Bearcats put on a good performance in the Jordans, for him. So no prediction on the St. X Elder game, and I say shut Joe Burrow down, but I think he's going to play. Any other thoughts, fellas?
Nah.
All right, so let's make sure we pick out a shoe for Neil, because did you guys get my group text of Neil's shoe?
No, yeah, I got it.
The right one. Your shoe looks like it has turf toe. Like your shoe actually has turf toe. All right, fellas, this concludes another great podcast. Thanks to all of our sponsors, Dono Accounting Services, Purple Monkey Project, and Oakley Greens. You're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Dono Accounting Services. For friendly expert tax advice whenever you need it, come to Donahue Accounting Services, a leading accounting firm in Cincinnati, Ohio. Our top-notch accountants strive to help you resolve all your financial and tax issues. Call Donahue Accounting Services today for a free consultation at 513-528-3982 or visit online at DonahueAccountingService.com. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. Go Bearcats.